Hi, I'm Bill Woodard. It's November 2019, and we're here at the Smith County Chamber of Commerce, and this is the Chamber Corner. Well, we'd like to welcome our guest, Miss Pam Billington. Pam, why don't you introduce yourself and just tell folks who you're with?
All right. I'm Pam Billington, and I'm with the Smith County Heritage Museum.
And Pam, I know you got some things going on you ready to tell us about today.
Right.
Just kind of tick them off, and I'll ask questions if I don't understand.
Well, we're so excited because we have our new ornament picked out, and it will be for Christmas. Our 2019 ornament will feature Mr. Bill Reese's art rendering of the Cordell Hull Bridge, and it was titled Almost Home, and that is what we are using on our ornament this year. And they'll be here soon.
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
We want people to start coming by and picking up their ornaments.
And for those of you that don't know Mr. Bill Reese, he's been a fixture around here in art and music and all of the arts for many decades.
Right.
In fact, they are putting a production of the
Charlie Brown Christmas
on up at the theater this time, and so
that's right.
So he's the one that drew this. Now he did this several years back.
Yes, I believe it was in 1992, but I might be mistaken about that date.
Okay. Well, I know we have one hanging on the wall in the chamber. He made so many of those, and I guess he sold the print.
Yes, he did.
So it's definitely a wonderful
thing. Yes.
Okay, well now, the Christmas ornaments coming out, so people can pick those up. How would they go about getting one of those?
They can come by the museum on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays between the hours of 10 and 2. Or they can just call maybe and reserve their ornament and come by at a convenient time. They can call at 615-735-1104.
Okay, and if you've got a collection of these going, you don't want to miss this.
Oh, no, you don't want to miss this one.
All right, now there's another project that's going on that we're really excited about.
Yeah.
And that's, well, I won't steal your thunder.
Well, no, it's part yours too. But we have our Smith County history book, and it's now on a flash drive, and we are getting lots of interest, and we are getting up an order, and we're going to be ready to send that order off really soon.
In fact, by the time you listen to this tape, we'll probably have already ordered.
Well, hopefully we will. And people can come by here at the Chamber of Commerce, or they can come to the museum if they just want to purchase one.
Okay, and they're $50.
$50, that's right.
And what it basically is the history book of Smith County. They have taken that, and basically we've put it on a digital drive, and so you'll be able to pick up one of these here at the chamber, or
at the museum.
Order it, or at the museum.
Or at the museum.
And basically, it's a searchable database. Now, here's the one thing that I think is wonderful about it. For instance, if you want to look up your family name, like mine is Woodard, well, I can type Woodard in, and it'll pull up every reference to that name in a list, so that you don't have to try to go through the book and search for it. So I had somebody the other day tell me, he said, well, I've got the history book. I don't know that I would want the digital drive. I explained that feature to them. And,
made it more appealing.
They basically got their money out and ordered one right then, because you'll be able to search and look for anybody or anything that you would like to. So I would say by the time you see the airing of this, we'll be well on our way to ordering those. But if you want to get one, you can basically order it at the museum or here at the Chamber of Commerce, and it's on a very compact flash drive. It's about the size of a credit card, and comes with a lanyard, and you'll be able to plug it into any USB port and be able to do a search.
Do a search.
So we hope that you'll avail yourself of that. Anything else going on at the museum that you wanted to talk about?
Nothing other than just come by and visit any day that we're open. We love our visitors.
Okay, and what are the hours?
Our hours are from 10 until 2. on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Okay. All right. So if you want a Christmas ornament or you want a history book
Yes.
in digital form, just give us a call.
Give us a call.
And the chamber here is 615-735-2093.
And the
or the
museum is 615-735-1104.
All right. Pam, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we had some more guests come by, and these folks are going to talk about a wonderful program. It's something that they do every year. And well, first off, I'll get you guys to introduce yourself. I'm sure everybody out there knows who you are, but we need to do it anyway. Start with you, Sheriff.
Steve Hoppers.
All right.
Beth Davis.
Eugene Roberts.
And these folks are here because of Santa's Shoppers. And it's a wonderful program that they do. And I'm not going to steal any thunder. I'm going to just ask the questions and let them tell you about it, because it is a wonderful thing. How long have you been doing the program?
We started in 2014. We've been doing it 5 years.
Okay, and about how many kids are you seeing come through the program?
In that span of time, we've served, had the privilege of serving 451.
Okay, and you raise money all during the year for this, and I know most of it comes in toward this time of year, but you raise money. They can donate at any time. How do you get your funds?
The funds come from organizations, from the banks, from the churches, from Walmart, from Upper Cumberland, individual donations. It's just a host of, or a variety of ways that the money comes in. You can make those donations by coming by the sheriff's office and dropping off the money or a check, preferably a check, or you can do it directly at the chamber here. Mm-hmm. And you guys handle that for us, and we don't keep any money at the sheriff's office. I'll put in a fund, and it's filtered through the Chamber of Commerce.
Right, and that's one thing a lot of people may not understand, but you guys actually can't operate something like this, so you do it through the Smith County Living, so that it's a full charitable donation for them to be able to do that. Now, how does it, we need to tell them exactly how you do this. We talked about the program, but we haven't really told them what the program is. So how do you go about giving the gifts to the kids?
What we do is we gather at the on the court side at the court and jail facility, and the parents bring children there. The children we have are 15 and under. We have a get together. We have Santa. We have some gifts that we give them there. Where the pizzas are donated from several different pizza makers. We have movies that are shown, and it starts there. Our officers are there. The Sheriff's Department officers are there. The Tennessee Highway Patrol also comes, Carthage City, Gordonsville, South Carthage, TWRA. After we get everything together, we load these kids in patrol cars. And if they're old enough to be in one without and the proper restraints, we can't haul kids in car seats. And we bring them off the hill with blue lights on and sirens.
I bet they love that.
They absolutely love that. And we make our trip from the court and jail facility to Walmart. It's a stream of blue lights and sirens. It's quite a sight to see. And we make our way down to Walmart. Walmart has been an excellent partner for us. They not only donate, but they make a big contribution in a lot of different ways. So that's how it gets started, and that's where they go.
Yeah, well,
the way it goes.
And it is fun, and I've actually been able to, and of course you have a lot of other folks that volunteer. Sheriff, is that right? Some folks in the community too help you out, plus the officers?
Sure do. We have a lot of folks, have some of the kids from the schools, some of the organizations with the school, and they'll come up and help. And what was it, Kit's bunch who usually come up?
Soccer boys helped us last year.
Yeah.
They went and picked up all the pizzas for us. They helped hand out the pizzas, so they were a big help. We have a lot of teachers to also volunteer.
Well, it's centered around the Sheriff's Department, but it's actually a community effort.
It is. And you was asking about how it started a while ago. Well, the initial start and goes through what the Help Center, Beth, where the parents apply, mm-hmm. and and have to go through the process there. The applications there to apply, and then they're screened to make sure that they're eligible for to be in the program. But it's just you've been there.
Yeah, I have.
You've been there, and it's just so heartwarming, and it's just a wonderful experience, in my opinion, for everybody involved.
Yeah, and if you want to have something to warm your heart, it'd be down there and maybe be one of the folks that's kind of shepherding these. Of course, the officers, they like to do that. So they usually you have a full cadre of them. Of course, you don't have to worry. The county's being protected. They've got the patrol officers out too.
Our officers that are involved with this are not paid. They come in on their own time and they volunteer their time. There's no payment for that, and they're glad to do it. And I'm not sure that the officers, and us included, that we don't get more out of it than the kids do. We all enjoy it. We do have something special going on this year. We've decided to, if the officers make a $25 donation to the Santa Shoppers program, we're going to let them have a no shave November. So you may have a few officers that you see around the county that's still a little rough. We typically don't allow that. We're pretty strict about the way our appearance is with the sheriff's office. But this year's going to be a little bit different, and we're happy about that, and they're excited about it. So we're going to see how that goes.
Well, I think that'll be great. I can't wait to see Ronnie.
Yeah,
But
that's the truth.
I'm telling you, this is a wonderful program. And folks, if you want to be involved and you want to make a donation, you, like Officer Roberts was saying, you can come by the chamber or call here, and you can do it here, or you can go up to the sheriff's office and do that. Beth, you haven't talked a whole lot. I've noticed that you don't do that a whole lot, but is there anything we've missed?
The only thing I want to add is the application process this year. The dates for that is November the 18th through December 13th at the Smith County Help Center. Ms. Pam has been so helpful over the years to take those applications. So those open up, and so if you know of a family that's eligible, you can refer them to Ms. Pam at the Help Center.
Okay, and a little bit off subject here, but I cannot tell you how proud I am and how grateful I am for the job that you folks do. I feel like we live in a place that's safe, and I know I have children and grandchildren, and over the years, the Smith County Sheriff's Department has been there and been a positive influence as far as I'm concerned, and I appreciate what you all do. And thank you guys for putting your lives in jeopardy to protect the rest of us. We appreciate it. We've got the privilege of having one of our new chamber members and a new member of the community here, not you, but your company, Bank Tennessee. And Tom, why don't you introduce yourself and tell them who you're with?
I'm Tom Pascal with Bank Tennessee, and our home office is in Memphis. We have 9 offices throughout the Middle Tennessee, well, actually West Tennessee and Middle Tennessee areas. So.
Okay, and you just obviously opened a new office over here. Why don't you give everybody the address so they'll know where to come to?
It's 3...
Upper Ferry Road, but I can't remember the number.
350, is it 3050?
Yeah, I think
we've only been there about
well, it's right across the street from 939.
Right across, that's
so I know that.
1050, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you guys just opened up, about 3 weeks or a month ago? Is that
Actually, right? We've been open, I think, 6 weeks.
6 weeks now,
yeah.
Okay. And it was a good addition to the Upper Ferry Road. I've noticed we've actually had the Blackwell building opened up over here next to us. And of course, Verizon is down here, and we've got Walmart across the way, and now we've got Bank Tennessee across the street. So we're starting to become, and Dollar Tree. So we're starting to become a commercial district here.
Absolutely, and it's exciting. So far, what.
Well, and I'm sure nobody can say. I was told there's going to be another business maybe between you and Dollar Tree, and I don't know if anybody's saying what that is, but I think
heard rumors,
yeah,
but nothing.
Yeah, nothing solid. But things are growing here in Carthage, and we're glad you guys are part of that. Now, is there anything you wanted to say Bank Tennessee's got going on, or anything that's happening?
Well, we're excited about what we have in the Middle Tennessee area, and I didn't say that I'm the Middle Tennessee chairman for Bank Tennessee, and we have our Lebanon office, which we've had for 7 years, I guess, and then this new one here in Carthage, and we have other locations, 7 other locations in the West Tennessee area.
Okay, and I'm sure you guys are into the electronic banking and all of that stuff.
All the bells and whistles.
Yeah, a lot of it I don't understand. I try to use it, but I don't understand. Well, Michael Nesbitt, I believe, is your manager over here at this operation.
He is. Mm-hmm.
And he's been with you guys for several months now, and I know he was down in Lebanon for a period of time.
Right, he was, and he worked for us before he became county mayor back in the day when we were Cumberland Bank.
Okay. Well, now, Cumberland Bank, I always thought it started here, but maybe it did.
It did.
It did start here. Okay.
It was a local bank, but some of the same principles in it that are involved in the charter.
So it's got hometown connections to be for sure.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
We have Alex Richmond and Larry Wilkerson and myself are all on the holding company board.
Well, now you should have twisted their arms, made them come down and be on TV.
That would have been good.
I think people would like to see that, especially Alex.
I think Alex is too excited about his new grandbaby.
Oh, well, I don't blame him. That's very exciting stuff. Well, Tom, appreciate you coming by. I'm sure if somebody wants to get in touch with the bank, you guys would be, and you keep regular hours. What's the phone number? Do you to give them? It's 588
9050.
9050. That's right.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, 588-9050. And I don't know of anything else to say other than you sure have a beautiful building.
Thank you. We're excited about it, and we had the similar building, just a little bit larger in Lebanon, just across from the on Hartman Drive, just across from the high school. So.
Yeah, well, I know one of the leadership functions, Michael is involved in that, and we went over and made some pictures and did a presentation of an award over there. And I have to say, your lobby is it's nice, to say the least.
Thank you.
Well, Tom, thanks for coming by.
Yes, sir.
And appreciate you talking with us.
Absolutely.
Well, in the month of November, we're really excited about everything that's going on. And Melissa, you've come by to show us some things. But first business, why don't you look at the camera and tell them who you are and who you're with?
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm with the Candy Bar. We're located at 315 North Main in Carthage, right across the street from the Help Center.
Okay, well now, the one thing about the Candy Bar, a lot of people don't know, you do all kind of programs with the kids and things like that during the year, and I know they all get it. I hear them talking about being excited about stuff. Before we get into the really good stuff, well, that's good stuff too. Tell them what you do with the kids about their report cards and stuff like that.
We always, every time there's, it's report card day in Smith County, any student that brings in their report card gets a free cotton candy. We try and advertise it, but if we don't, just know that it's absolutely, every kid gets a free cotton candy on report card days. We don't require any specific grades. All we ask is that the kids do their best. And this is from pre-K, preschool, all the way up through high school kids.
And I'm sure that brings a lot of kids on report card day to your store. Right?
It does, and it's great to see even the older kids, the high schoolers coming in saying, look at my report card. So it's something that's really fun for the employees. And something we like to do for the community.
Well, I hadn't thought of that, and I guess the high school kids do come in.
Absolutely.
Well, now, what we're really excited about is you can make gift baskets.
Yes, we do candy arrangements. Here's one that's one of our, for Halloween, that we deliver anywhere in Smith County to businesses and schools, free of charge. We have great things that you can do for the holidays. Here's one coming up for Thanksgiving. You can sit in the middle of Grandma's table during the meal if you want, or just a gift for any occasion.
So this is like you. If I want to give something to my wife, say at her office or
absolutely,
you guys will deliver that.
We'll deliver it anywhere in Smith County to businesses and schools at no charge.
Okay.
And what you do is just give us a call, and we have some made up at all the time. or you can say this is her favorite candy, and the theme, and we'll try and create something unique for them.
Well, now you said this is Halloween, but that'd actually go
At Thanksgiving,
fall or Thanksgiving.
fall, any of that.
It's good. And Heath is my favorite. Now I believe you have some more down there. I know
Just to give you an idea of some of the other ones we have, we're starting now to, for us, it's time to start focusing on the holidays. So here's a couple of different ideas that we have for Christmas ones. Again, you can tell us what kind of candy you like and your price range, and we'll work with you for something like that.
Okay, well, I really like these. They're obviously, that one was Christmas. This one, well, it's Christmas too.
It's Christmas
Okay.
themed. And then we also do a lot for little kids' birthdays, events, that type of thing, or you can do a thank you one. Here's one for a boy with a toolbox, or a girl. Gender new, not gender specific, anything, and again, we can fill it with their favorite kind of candies.
Okay, so that's really neat. I like that. And I started to say an age range, but since you're having high schoolers come in for cotton candy, high schooler might like this.
Absolutely, or a grown man that's doing some honeydew projects at home as well.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be a good way to say thanks.
We also do balloons and balloon arrangements. So if you want a dozen balloons delivered to someone, we can help you out with that as well.
Okay, now we've talked about the kids and taking care of them, but you serve coffee too, don't you?
Absolutely. So our main things, of course, we serve candy, but we also have hand-dipped ice cream and any of the ice cream malts, shakes, sundaes. And we do all sorts of different coffees and espresso drinks. So for the pumpkin spice latte folks out there, come on by. We can fix you up. And as well as we make homemade cotton candy, we do snow cones, and in the winter we do warm, freshly baked cookies.
And of course, you're open during all the festivals that we have.
Absolutely. Our normal hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday 9:30 to 6. We're closed on Sundays, other than upcoming events like Veterans Day Parade is on Sunday. We'll be open for that day. So come by and see us. And November is actually our 3rd anniversary, so it's a good special month for us, and we'll be running different specials throughout the month, so come by and see us.
Okay, and Hometown Christmas, I believe, is November the 28th this year.
That's right.
So you guys will plan on being
Absolutely. We'll be out full force.
Yeah, that starts at, I believe, starting at 1 or 2 o'clock this year. I don't think the final decision's been made, but it goes through the parade, and the parade starts at dark, which is, the time changes.
Time changes this week.
And so it would be about 4:30 or
4:35.
5 o'clock when the parade is.
And some of the special events will have like some of our hot chocolate for sale outside, so you don't have to leave the parade site and lose your spot. We'll have things available for you there.
Okay, well, Melissa, thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Come by and see us.
Well, we got, November is chock full of things going on, and Mary has come by to tell us about it, but you better introduce yourself like always.
Okay, I'm Mary. I am Mary Draper from the Extension Office. I work with the Family and Consumer Science Department. So we work in the areas of home health, food, money, nutrition, anything like that. And I also work with the FCE clubs in the county.
Okay, and you've got an event coming up?
Yes, we have Maintain, Don't Gain coming up. So during the holiday seasons, I know it's a time where we have lots of indulgence in foods. It might be time that we want to relax more so than exercising and things like that. So this is a program geared towards all areas of family and consumer sciences. So it deals with money, all the areas that we just said, home, things like that. And it's completely online, so and it's free, but it gives you tips geared towards how to stay healthy during the holiday season. So money management tips, healthy food recipes, videos for exercising, all those different things. And the deadline to register is November the 5th. You can register online at tiny.utk.edu/2019 Maintain, Don't Gain. And there's flyers out as well, so it'll tell you on there. And the challenge dates are November the 24th through January the 10th. During that time, we'll have free access to Smith County Fitness Center for anybody that signs up just during that time. And we are doing this with Wilson County FCS program, so they will also have access to Wilson County Fitness Centers, select fitness centers as well for signing up. So depending where you live or where you work, you have a lot of access to different places.
Okay, is there a time, like, are you having a specific meeting and classes doing this? Okay.
So it's completely online, yes. And like I said, go to that URL address, tiny.utk.edu 2019, capital MDG, and that'll get you signed up to the emails. And once you sign up, you'll get more information pertaining to the select fitness centers participating in this challenge, but that's up to them. The times, of course, they have to be open, but if the times that they want to fit into their schedules, they can go to the fitness centers whenever they want for participating, but the education is just online.
Okay, all right. So if they want more detail about this, they can contact you, of course, at the
Yes.
Extension Center.
Yes.
What's that number?
615-735-2900.
Okay, and of course, if you don't remember that, 735-2093 here at the Chamber. On this particular event that you're having, you noticed, you said it was for money management and for health management. Right. And that's a little bit unusual for some of these things. So is this pretty broad based?
Yeah, so all the areas in family and consumer sciences, we do focus on economics as well. So I know during the holiday season, I especially sometimes get stressed with all the spending that I have to do around the holidays. So good ways that I like to plan ahead. I already have half my Christmas list done. I make sure to put down who I'm spending for, as well as how much I'm spending for that person. And I think the biggest thing is just probably to start ahead so you don't get stress during the holiday season, but you'll have tips as well on money management for signing up.
You know, one thing that I've noticed my wife does too, and I bet you do it too, there'll be some things that are like timeless gifts. In other words, if you buy them now or you buy them a year from now, they're going to be the same. And she'll find them on sale after Christmas.
Absolutely.
And put them back.
Yeah, and that's especially a good thing to do with like gift wrapping. You'll probably find it 50 to 75% off right after the season, so you can always keep those as well. And I like to do my Christmas shopping right after Christmas, find some good deals, some things that I know that people would like, and then go throughout the year as well. And of course, it's always a good idea to shop local when you can. We're right here in the county. It's not far to go, so you're saving that gas money. But it's not always possible to do that. So when you shop online, you want to look for those good deals for free shipping and things like that. And then you're also not having to spend gas money by shopping online.
Well, and people, you know, they think about the gas money, but think about your time too. If you shop local, you probably saved yourself a good hour to 2 hours.
That's right.
Just driving time.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, now FCE is a mainstay here in the county, and you have all kind of clubs, and I like you to always mention them. How many clubs do you have?
We have 9 clubs, and they are according to location. So we have from Defeated all the way to Gordonsville and Hickman. So we have 9 of them. We have 2 clubs that meet here at the Chamber on a regular basis. We have our Carthage Club who meets here, as well as our Night Owls clubs who meet here. The difference between those is one meets during the day and one meets during the night. So hopefully that gets in everybody where they're able to come at a different time at different locations. So whatever's good for them.
Okay, and then during these meetings, you talk about the family and home items that help people with that, and then of course they fellowship with each other.
Yes, so I met with them in October. In November and December they get to have their holiday fun, so a lot of them are going to different places to celebrate the holiday season.
And here at the Chamber, I've been lucky enough, every once in a while they'll feel sorry for me and they'll share at the end maybe a dessert or something to take over. Oh, some of the best food I've ever tasted in my life.
Yes, they have good food. They can. They're very talented in a plethora of ways, but definitely their cooking is one of their top strengths.
There's no doubt about that. Well, thanks for coming by, Mary.
Yes,
and,
thank you for having me.
If there's anything else that we may have missed, we'll try to get it on the next show. But anyway, you have a wonderful holidays.
You too.
And I guess we'll see you maybe in December?
Probably. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
All right. Well, Chris, it's great to have you. Of course, it's November. And you've been doing some lunch and learns, is
That's
that
right?
right?
Yep.
And I know I may be getting you off subject here a little bit, but what I'd like you to do is introduce yourself and then talk about Lunch and Learns.
Sure. Well, Chris Hicks, University of Tennessee Extension. I'm the adult agriculture agent for Smith County. And we have been doing Lunch and Learns right here at the Chamber of Commerce each month in 2019. It's gone really well, I think. We've had a great time doing it. I've got some awesome coworkers who have helped do this. And our last one will be the first Wednesday in December. The last one for 2019, probably not the last one we'll ever do. But the last one for this year will be the first Wednesday in December. I think that's December 4th. And the topic is composting. So kind of a unique topic, something that I'd like to learn more about. I've never done composting myself, but we've got Wayne Key, who does Master Gardener classes in Putnam County, and Wayne is going to come and talk to us about composting, some of the do's and don'ts of composting, because composting is something I think a lot of people are interested in, but if you don't do it properly, it doesn't work, or at least doesn't work as well.
And it's the right time of year to start something like that, I guess. Well, I guess you can start any time, but it's a good time of year to start with it.
Yeah, because we're thinking about, you think about all the food that's wasted around Thanksgiving, and unfortunately, that we do waste a lot of food in this country, but some of that material is really good in compost and can make a good addition to your compost pile. But you also need a lot of organic matter, and having that right balance between the amount of nitrogen in that compost pile, the amount of carbon in that compost pile, and then water to make everything run, make all the bugs do their work. And getting all that right is the key to success.
Well, now, some folks out there might not know why are we building compost? What do you use that for?
It makes really good soil amendment is really the big thing, and that compost, you can add it to your garden to really improve what we call the tilth of the soil, just the workability of the soil, and it really helps, and also adds organic matter to the soil. If you put that on your yard or your garden, around your plant bed, your flowers, your ornamentals, makes really good soil amendment and will really help anything you're trying to grow.
Well, now, can it take the place of fertilizer?
To some extent. I mean, there are certainly some nutrients in there. Now, you would probably want to do a soil analysis and see what nutrients are really lacking in that soil with a soil test, but certainly a good compost will have some nutrients, maybe not completely take the place of fertilizer, but will certainly help fertilize.
Well, if you're a whatever gardener like me, I don't, you just mentioned soil tests, and I'm not that, what is the word, precise?
Sure.
So if you're a whatever gardener like me, then the compost is probably going to help somebody like me. Then.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. It would help make whatever you're growing that much better.
Yeah. Well, going back to the Lunch and Learns, I found them to be very informative. I got to attend one.
Yeah.
And the one thing I remember is you made a statement. You said, "Now, I can identify a plant, but don't put it on the dash of your truck and let it dry out for 2 or 3 weeks and then bring it to me and expect me to identify it." Well, I took you at your word. I took a plant and cut it off, and I put it in the back of my car, and I left it there for about 3 weeks, and I brought that into you all dried and crumpled up, and guess what? You remember, you identified it.
Sure, yeah.
So folks,
sometimes we get lucky.
Well, I don't think it was luck. He's pretty sharp about that. And he said, "Oh, by the way, you're spreading seeds everywhere."
Yeah, it was.
So the Lunch and Learns are something that I think somebody, if you're wanting to find out from, how would they find out what you're having for each?
Well, just call the extension office. Like I said, this one is the last one we've got scheduled for this year, but we'll be having more in 2020. I don't have that schedule made out yet, but if you'll either come by the one in December, we'll have some information probably by then, or you can call the extension office 615-735-2900, and we'll get you information. We'll put you on the list, and when we have those dates, we'll get them to you.
Okay. And we talked about Lunch and Learns. I got you off on that, but that's really not why you came by.
Well, that's okay.
Okay. Well, Chris, what else you got going?
Well, I thought being November, it's a really good time to talk about hay feeding, because, and I know this doesn't pertain to everybody in your audience, but it certainly pertains to some, and maybe those it doesn't pertain to, they'll find interesting. We usually in Smith County feed hay about 150 days a year. Most people feed from about November through March. Unfortunately, with the drought that we've had this in the late summer, early fall, August and September were just abnormally dry. A lot of that grass that we would normally have, that cool season grass that we would normally have in pastures in September and October, wasn't there. It died or didn't grow.
Well, I noticed my yard, I haven't had to mow it for several weeks.
Exactly, and so if you're not mowing your yard, it's probably not growing in pastures either, and so the cows eat it down and it's gone. It's just not there, and so people had to start feeding hay early. They had to start feeding hay in October. Some people even had to start feeding hay as early as September, and when you do that, when you start feeding hay early, that means you're going to have to feed a lot more hay if you have to feed all the way through March or April, maybe more hay than you were expecting. And so we needed to think about how can we manage that where we aren't running out of hay in February and you're having to call around looking for hay in February, because if you're calling around looking for hay in January or February, you're going to have a tough time finding good hay or any hay at all.
It's going to be expensive.
And it's going to be expensive. So to me, we need to number one, think about storage. Hay storage, and you drive down the road and you see bales of hay sitting out in a field or sitting under a tree line, and they're exposed to the elements. They're sitting on bare soil, and what people don't oftentimes realize is that roll of hay is a sponge. I mean, it soaks up moisture from the soil, so that bottom of the bale rots. It's soaking up moisture when it rains on top of it, so the top rots, and about 75% of a roll of hay is in that outside layer. So when it rots, you've lost a really good portion of that hay. So even something as simple, look, having a hay barn would be nice. I mean, that's the Cadillac if everybody can put their hay in a barn. But even if you don't have a barn, if you can put it on something to get it off the soil, that's going to help quite a bit. I mean, it's not going to rot on the bottom. I've seen people put hay on tires, on pallets, on anything to get it off the bare soil. Then you can have a tarp maybe over the top, and that's just as good as having it in a hay barn as far as a loss perspective. And then beyond storage, we have to be careful when we feed it. And for those in the audience that might not be as familiar with feeding hay, if you just put a bale of hay in a pasture, the cattle or goats or sheep, whatever it is, will waste half of it. I mean, they'll walk through it, they'll defecate on it, they'll bed up in it, lay down in it, roll around in it in the mud, and it'll be gone. It'll be wasted. So having hay rings is important. Some people like to unroll hay in the pastures, and that can work really well, but you need to make sure if you unroll a bale and let them have that, only unroll what they'll eat in a day. Because if you unroll 2, 3, 4 days worth, they're going to eat until they're full, then they're going to roll around in the rest of it. So I think thinking about how we feed hay, and we've got a lot of information at the Extension office. We can talk to you about exactly how much hay you need to get through the season, how much is wasted. Not all hay rings are created equal. And I'm not selling hay rings, but some hay rings, cattle waste less than others. And usually those are the ones that are more expensive. But there are some hay rings and hay feeding systems that just work a little bit better than others. And that's some things that we can talk to people free of charge. And advice is always free at the Extension office.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things people don't realize is that you guys are here as a service through UT, and of course whoever else sponsors you. I'm sure the state of Tennessee is involved. There's a lot of fingers in the pie, so to speak. But UT Extension and University of Tennessee, you guys offer a wonderful service here, and
thank you.
Of course, no charge.
Thank you.
Now, if you do soil testing and things like that, of course, you ask the person to pay for the tests.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. But your services, you come out.
That's right. And I'm happy to come out and give advice free of charge. Of course, you know, if something is sent through our lab, whether it's a soil test or a forage test, something like that, the lab charges for that, and so we have to pass that cost along. But it's not a big price. When you think about $15 for a soil test, yeah, that may seem like a lot if you're doing a soil test on your rose bushes. If you're doing a soil test on a 200-acre field and you're potentially spending thousands and thousands of dollars on fertilizer, $15 soil test really isn't that much to potentially save you a tremendous amount of money.
Save you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, a very intelligent young man asked a question in my presence that I think these folks might want to hear.
Okay.
He said he had a building site that was going to be his home later on, and basically it's a muddy mess right now, and of course he's wanting grass in his yard, you know, when the house gets finished here in a few weeks.
Sure.
And the question was, what can he do to do that? And I heard your suggestion. I think these guys might want to hear that.
Sure. Well, my suggestion would be ryegrass this time of year, when you're talking about that late fall kind of time of the year.
Well, now, you're talking about that stuff that's got the big thick stalk.
Right. Yeah, I'm talking about annual ryegrass, not rye. So when you're talking about the big thick stalk, you're talking about rye, which is a grain.
There is a difference.
Okay, exactly. So it's a grain, so in the same sense that wheat would be a grain. So it's a small grain. Ryegrass is an annual grass, meaning it completes its life cycle in 1 year. So that annual ryegrass is going to die when it gets really hot. But the thing about it is, in a situation where you're talking about where there's a lot of mud and you need something that grows quick to hold the ground in place so it doesn't wash away when it rains a lot, as it will, I'm sure, this winter, ryegrass is that. And it's pretty easily established. You could throw ryegrass down on this floor almost and it would come up. So you could easily establish that in a situation where you're talking about get some quick growth to hold the soil. And then you're going to want to come in with a perennial like tall fescue maybe in the spring, because again that annual ryegrass is going to play out when it gets hot.
Well, now what's the best grass if you're looking toward the future? Now say he plants the ryegrass.
Sure.
And he gets a coverage there. What does he need to do to have a stand of grass in the spring?
Well, in the spring, he's probably looking at a perennial like tall fescue if he wants a cool season grass. Now, there's a lot of different grasses we could talk about in lawns, and it gets back to personal preference, what you like. A lot of people like Bermuda grass, which is a warm season grass that's really lush and green and
got the thick
nice
blades.
Yeah, got the stolons, the above ground stems on it. It's what you find on football fields. So both our football fields in the county have Bermuda grass, brown as a tabletop in the winter, and a lot of people don't like it for that reason because it does turn brown in the winter time, but in the summer it's green. There's some other warm season grasses that are really comfortable in the summer, but the thing about those is they usually go dormant in the winter time, and people don't necessarily like that. But as far as something that's low maintenance, easy to grow, don't have to worry a whole lot about it, tall fescue is kind of where we are.
Well, now when I was growing up, a lot of people around here would sow in their yards Kentucky bluegrass and clover.
Yep.
Is that still a good combination, or is that kind of hard to keep?
The Kentucky bluegrass does okay. It doesn't do as well as the tall fescue, and really in a lawn situation, the clover is almost a weed. It really doesn't look as nice. If you're wanting something that looks really nice, to me, the clover doesn't look as nice. Now, the clover in a pasture hay is great, but in a lawn, it's not really something.
And I guess they were doing that for the nitrogen content.
Sure, I'm sure they were, yeah.
The clover puts that in.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for answering that question.
Sure.
If you're building a house out there, you just got the answer to your yard problem. Okay, Chris, anything else going on at UT Extension? That's a lot already.
Yeah, that's about it. We've got a lot of programs coming up in the spring, and we'll probably talk about some of those next month. But I just want to tell everybody that we're here. If you have questions related to home, farm, garden, anything like that, we're here, 735-2900, or visit us at 125 Gordonsville Highway. We'll be glad to help you.
Okay, Chris, thanks for coming by.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, Katie, it's great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
Please introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are and who you're with.
Absolutely. My name is Katie Martin, and I am the 4-H agent in Smith County with the University of Tennessee Extension Service.
Okay, and of course, Chris and Mary have just been here talking about their programs. Your program is special and kind of after all of our hearts because a lot of us participated in it, and that's 4-H.
That's right. So we are here to help the youth. We are in the schools, we have a homeschool club group, we've got high school members that meet, so we do a lot with the youth in Smith County. Really quick, I just want to give a shout out to our forestry judging team. They actually went to the state contest on October 19th and came away with 4th place out of the whole entire state. They learned how to measure trees, identify trees, diseases, all kinds of compassing and pacing. So we had 3 young gentlemen that just really excelled. So we want to give them a special congratulations for doing so well at that state level.
Boy, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Now, what grade levels exactly do you deal with?
So we are in all of the 4th, 5th, and 6th grades in the county. We're in several 7th and 8th grade classrooms as well, but we have programs and activities and projects for everybody in 4th grade all the way up through when they graduate high school in 12th grade.
Okay, well now, if you say programs, you do a lot of group things.
We do.
That's for sure. But you actually have things that are geared toward an individual student as well.
Absolutely. So this month in the classroom is Public Speaking Month, some of our kiddos' favorite and some of their least favorite contests to participate in. But that does meet a state standard, so a lot of teachers require them to do a 4-H speech. I know that personally doing 4-H speeches kind of got me on the path to being a good public speaker and being confident in those abilities. So we really want to encourage all those parents and grandparents out there to work with their 4-H'er and prepare them to give their 4-H speech at their November club meeting so they can be successful and feel good about their communication skills. So that's something they can compete in, and we'll place 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the classroom. 1st and 2nd in the classroom will move on to the county contest, and from the county contest, our winners will have a chance to move on to sub-regionals as well.
Well, then you've had several people in the past go all the way through
absolutely.
and win some pretty big
absolutely.
awards.
Scholarships, cash prizes, trips to places like Denver for Western National 4-H Roundup. There are lots of opportunities. If your 4-H'er is good or enjoys public speaking, there are many opportunities for them on down the line, especially.
Yeah, and just think, talking can get you that.
Oh, yeah.
That's hard to believe
Absolutely,
sometimes.
absolutely.
I'll never forget, we had 4-H when I was growing up, which obviously was a while back. But I will never forget, we'd have to do those speeches, and they were very uncomfortable for me. I was one of those people that didn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I got to a point to where I could actually get up and talk in front of people. But the funny thing was, after years and years, I had to come back and speak at my old high school for something.
Yeah.
And I'm an older person, and you would think I had all that behind me, and my knees literally were knocking together.
Yep.
So it depends on the circumstance, and this is what gives you the poise to be able to get through those things. I made it through that, and then subsequently after that, it's not been as hard. But it's funny how you need the practice, and you need somebody kind of, I don't want to use the word critique, but encourage.
Guiding you along that way, yeah.
To be able to do those things.
Yeah.
So that's a wonderful thing. Anything else in 4-H?
Yeah, lots of stuff coming up. Public speaking is the big thing throughout the winter. Of course, when spring rolls back around, we'll really jump into judging teams. But something that goes on throughout the year that I hope the community knows about is our community club, and it's specifically geared towards our 7th through 12th graders, so those middle school and into high school age youth. This is one that we really concentrate on things like community service, leadership opportunities, and we just have a lot of fun as a group. In November, we'll be doing our Thanksgiving potluck, where we all get together and kind of have a Friendsgiving, but we also couple that with a service project. So if there are youth out there looking for service project hours, or just a great group to kind of belong and hang out with once a month, I really recommend the community club. Of course, it looks great on all kinds of scholarship applications and things along those lines, but a lot of our youth think maybe that 4-H ends at 6th grade, but really the great opportunities don't even get started till high school. So we want to make sure that we're getting those older youth and providing them with opportunities as well.
Well, that's a wonderful program. Well, have we covered it all, or is there?
For the most part, we always have stuff going on, of course, but if you have a student that's 4th through 12th grade, whether they are in the school system or homeschooled, we have opportunities for them throughout the year. So the best way to keep up with that is, of course, to follow us on Facebook, check out our website, or just stop in and see me at the office. And we have something for everybody, so we can get your child plugged into whatever best fits their needs.
Well, and when I was in 4-H, you felt like it was geared more toward the farm, but actually 4-H covers a wide swath of
That's right.
life.
We're so diverse. We have over 26 project areas that range from everything from the farm, like you were talking about, beef, goat, veterinary science, but things like line and design, food and nutrition, science and technology, computers and engineering. So it covers a whole spectrum of all kinds of interests that our youth may have.
And the interesting thing you mentioned earlier, when you started, you have homeschool group and you have children in the school system.
Yep.
So it's very inclusive.
That's right.
Well, sounds like a great program. And Katie, thank you for coming by.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll look for you next month.
Sounds good.
Well, it's good to have Mr. Kurt Bass with us. Kurt, introduce yourself. Tell them who you're with.
All right. My name is Kurt Bass. I'm with Bass Funeral Home. I'm a fifth-generation funeral director. Of course, we have a location in Carthage and Gordonsville both, and been serving Smith County for a really long time, Bill, all the way back to the late 1800s. So.
Yeah. Well, and I wasn't there then, but I was close.
Didn't miss it by much.
Yeah, didn't miss it by much. And you guys have been a fixture in the county as long as I can remember.
Right.
And so we're very proud to be associated with you and the chamber and everything.
I think we're actually one of the first chamber members,
Is that right?
a charter member of the Chamber of Commerce in the county. I think that's right.
I need to look that up because that would be very interesting. We've had a lot of milestones. In fact, I was going to talk about some of that happened this year in the county, and it's pretty interesting. I don't know for sure, but how many years have you been in business, Bass Funeral Home?
So Bass Funeral Home has been in business since 1916. My great-granddaddy actually bought out his great-uncle's business that started in New Middleton back in 1897. And, so, I mean, as far as generations go and history goes, we can trace all the way back to 1897 as far as a direct family line, all the way through there.
Way over 100 years.
Right. Yeah. And some things that people don't know, when Cordell Hull's father died, of course, to get him back to his home area of Salina, Clay County, they had to bring him on the train. Well, of course, the train stopped in Gordonsville. My great-granddaddy picked him up from the depot and transported him up to Clay County or Pickett County, wherever the burial spot is. And we've still got the old books, Cordell Hull Hearse Hire, where he had buried Cordell Hull's father, and then even the World War II veterans, when they were repatriated, or not the veterans, the ones that died in action, when they were repatriated back to the States, they came in on the train too. And so at the funeral home at Gordonsville, there's a box that's got telegraphs and letters and all kinds of notes where my great-grandfather and grandfather actually repatriated those soldiers, picked them up at the train depot, and took care of them. So it's really humbling, and it's a heritage that I'm proud of and that we hope we can build on.
Oh yeah, well there's no doubt you guys are a fixture in Smith County, that's for sure. There's a service that you perform that a lot of people probably don't think about, and I'm going to introduce it this way. We have Brother Tim Frank comes here and he does a program called Grief Share.
Right.
And I know you have told me you guys sponsor that. And he does a really fine job with this, and they've used the room in there, and we're glad to let them use that. And maybe you want to talk a little bit about that program and what it's about.
Tim has been doing the service for us for, 7 or 8 years, and we'll touch on that some more. And we went to him after he held it for us one time and said, we would like to help you do something to help people during all the time, not just at Christmas or at Thanksgiving, but it's hard for people all the time. And so Tim did some research and came to us, and actually Sanderson Funeral Home, and so our funeral home and the First Baptist Church and Sanderson Funeral Home all sponsor this together as a group, and Tim puts it on, and it's been a really good thing for the people that will come. He'll call and update me every now and then, and seems to have gotten some really good response and really good feedback from people. And the one thing about grief, no two people are the same. The way you handle it, the way I handle it is completely different. And this Grief Share gives, there's all kinds of groups for people, but there's not really a group for people that are mourning, and this gives that availability.
Well, and I know it's during the holidays they talk about how it can be a depressing time too, even though there's a lot of presents and joy and things like that going on. You remember folks that aren't with you, and I'm sure it can get that way. The one thing that I also pick up out of that is, and I've noticed this all my life, we've got Sanderson Funeral Home and Bass Funeral Home in their county, and you guys seem to work really well together and have a lot of respect for each other, and you don't pick up any animosity whatsoever, and I think that's wonderful. that you guys can be here in the county. And
Well, service to the people is the main thing.
Yeah, well, the Basses and Mr. Carver and his family, they're wonderful folks, all of you. I'd have to say that. Okay, well, if somebody needs to know about Grief Share or anything, they can call the funeral home.
They can call the funeral home or call First Baptist Gordonsville, either one, or First Baptist Carthage. I'm sorry, First Baptist Carthage.
Okay.
And take care of that.
All right. What's the number there at the funeral home?
615-683-8212 or 615-735-1212.
Okay. So if you want to know something about Grief Share, or you just got one of those times in your life when you'd like to talk to somebody, I'm sure Brother Frank would love
He does great.
Have you come by. He does a good job.
Real good job.
All right. Well, Kurt, that was it for me. Anything you want to add?
Just that we do have, we call it a holiday remembrance service. It's the first Sunday in December, and Tim Frank puts it on too. And I think that'll be December the 1st. It'll be in the mid-afternoon. It'll be in the Courier, and it'll be on Smith County Insider, and we send out letters to people that we have buried in the past year. But what we focus on is allowing people to come together to place together. They've all experienced the same thing. Everybody's going through the same thing, but everybody's handling it differently. And Brother Tim goes through different ways that maybe at Thanksgiving or at Christmas you can help that burden of grief, and at times embrace it, and at times know that it's okay to be grieving during a happy time, and just different ways to get through it. It's a really good program. We would love to have a great crowd. It's one of those things that, we've been through it personally. I've lost my mother 5 years ago, and every Christmas I think about, what she would be doing on Christmas, especially since I've had kids. And it's just as much for me and Daddy as it is for everybody else. And but we would love to have people come, and they can call the funeral home to get that information too. But we would love to see some people there.
Okay. And of course, it's November, and we had a great Gordonsville Halloween Bash and a great Jeepers Creepers.
Right.
And we're going to do it again next year.
Yes,
right?
of course.
All right.
Of course.
So we get to hand out candy and be good to everybody. So that's something to look forward to for next year.
That's right.
Of course, Christmas is coming up too, and that's always a good time.
Yeah, the kids will love that.
Yeah.
Mine are looking forward to it big time.
Yeah, our little girl, she's already picking some stuff.
I bet she is.
Oh, yeah.
I bet she is.
All right, well, folks, if you got any questions about Grief Share, just call Bass Funeral Home, or if you forget the number, just call us here at the Chamber, and we'll be happy to put you guys together. Kurt, thanks for coming back.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the show that we put together today. We had a lot of good information and a lot of fine folks that came by. One thing I would like to mention that we didn't mention during the show, we did several milestone awards this year, and the latest one was Citizens Bank. They've been in business 90 years, and Mr. Walter Glenn Birdwell, he's the CEO of Citizens Bank, and he is 90 years old too. So it's kind of his birthday and the bank's birthday as well. So if you get a chance, I know they've already had a celebration, but if you happen to go by and see them, tell them that you thought about this and congratulate them for all those years. I also like to do a shout out to Chad. Chad, if you've watched the show, I told you that we appreciated you being a fan, and you folks out there that watch the show, we really appreciate you doing that. We're hoping you're giving you information that's good. So Chad, I wanted to say hi to you, and to all you other folks, we appreciate you watching, and we hope you'll continue to watch the Chamber Corner, and we'll see you in December.